Gentlemen, welcome to eFed Interviews. I got the World Heavyweight Champion, Alex Fame, and I got the King of Chaos, Tyler H, these two will be in the co-main event and main event at Beer Bash, March 1st, and at the Reed Arena in College Station, Texas. It's going to be a jam-packed night, and even myself, the Chronic Champion, tonight. So, let's make ourselves at home. We're in the war chest room. We're going to make sure this show is awesome. So, what do you guys say?
I'll go ahead and let Tyler say what he has to say first. I mean, he is the one who asked the hard-hitting questions alongside you. So, I'm all ears.
Well, people saying I'll let you go first because you're the world champion right now.
Okay then. So, go ahead, ask me anything you need to know.
Well, Alex, this question is comes from myself as the host. What transpired in the main event for the once-in-a-lifetime briefcase between Warlord Victor and Zach Hollywood?
Well, I mean, that whole main event, obviously Victor came up short. And first off, congrats to Zach Hollywood, whoever that is. I mean, in my eyes, he's still not on my radar. That little tin case that he calls a briefcase is not a threat to me. So you can save that for another time. If he wants a world title shot, all he has to do is ask.
Tyler, this question comes from myself. What is your mental preparation for Beer Bash against Torrance Banks, Mark Jacobs, Chris Zero, and the Fatal 4-Way match for the DRW Elite World Heavyweight Championship?
Well, obviously this is one big time for a 4-way, for the major title. Last time I was in a big time fatal 4-way for the world title was back in Night of the Dead, back in October, in which I won, against THB in his hometown. And I've defeated all three of these guys in one-on-one matches. I've defeated Chris Zero in my hometown. Me and him have had big time matches, which led up to being nominees for Match of the Year and stuff like that. But now he's the Elite World Champion, and a lot of these guys on the roster don't want him to be the champion because he's the owner of this company. There needs to be a real world champion. All he is right now is a paper champion. He doesn't know how to be a champion. If you want to be a great, elite world champion, you have to show it. I know he's trying to show it, but when I go into Beer Bash, in College Station, Texas, this is a big time match for me because I haven't had this elite world title match since August of last year, since the title was actually named when I faced Adam Rush before I got screwed by the Bullet Club. And that's when the whole Bullet Club situation started. And it's been continuing, And I want Chris to lose this world title. I don't care if it's me. I don't care if it's THB. I don't care if it's Mark Jacobs who's going to win. We just don't want him to be the Elite World Champion going into the Dark Mania. Plain and simple. I'm here to become the Elite World Champion, and then we go in the Hall of Fame as the champion. And then whoever I face at Dark Mania, and even though I already have a match against Firestar, I don't care if I'm double booked. I'll win both matches and I'll make history that night.
Was my name mentioned?
Was his name mentioned, Tyler?
I simply heard last name Brooks. And if you believe that you can actually make history at my expense, then you're just really dead wrong right then and there. I'm going to go ahead and cut you off. Stop you dead in your tracks. Because
Fame, I've known you for a long time.
that is true.
Going back to ECW. Back to ECW days. I've known you for a long time. companies ever. And I didn't know, I've watched so many of your matches in the DRW, and now you're the World Heavyweight Champion. You were holding a title that I held twice already. And that I won for the first time at the 1 year show last year. And then I won it back in October. And now you're the world champion. And now you're going to go into a big time match. But you say that you think that Mark Jacobs is going to walk out as the Elite World Champion.
Well, that's right.
That's not going to happen. I can only tell you that.
Well,
You're too sure of yourself. You're really too sure of yourself because here's the thing. You're not the only man who's beaten Chris Zero. You're not the only man who's beaten Banks. And you're not the only man who's beaten Jacobs. And on top of that, I've beaten you too. But the fact that has remained, you have yet to beat me. Even if it was in ECW, ROH, or even here in DRW, you have yet to beat me. Which makes me the man to go through. You have not proven yourself Hall of Fame worthy until you have beaten me. I mean, Banks, yeah, he's already in there, but what's his 7 to my 10? Nothing. I still have more victories over him than he has over me. And I respect the guy. He's a brother. Like, I will actually go to war with that guy because he's just that type of athlete. But when it came down to that whole topic of who's walking out as the DRW Elite World Champion, it's either going to be Jacobs, who is the main choice, or it's going to be Banks, the guy who everybody sleeps on. I don't knock your abilities. You're a great talent, and you're a first ballot Hall of Famer someday. But
I'm already going into the Hall of Fame.
it was announced a long time ago that Tyler H was going into the Hall of Fame.
That's important then, because I mean, I still don't care. I'm pretty sure the fans don't care. So, I mean, this is not me being disrespectful. It's me being honest. And most people are not gonna like me being honest.
Finn, you were the one that made Firestar say I quit for the first time in his career, and then you weren't the one who held the DRW Championship, longest reign ever in company history, and you weren't the one that beat DMG 4 straight times at 4 different pay-per-views, and that defeated the man that's hosting this show right now, GVD in Russian House of Horrors, in his match. You weren't the one that did that.
I respect Firestar. I refuse to face him. And guess what? If I would have made him say I quit. That's not hard to do. I respect DMG. That's the person that I respect the most. I will always say that's the match I want to have. And I respect her too much to trash her name on any show. That's where that's where our line of different reality comes into play. Because you actually like to brag and boast about beating a woman. And there's nothing wrong with that, except for the fact that it makes you look like less of a man. And don't get me wrong, once again, you're a great talent in that little world that you call reality in your mind. But, I mean, once again, you have yet to beat. So, I don't even see why you are...
So then when was the last time that you were relevant? Huh?
Let's see. I'm a 2-time world champion. I came back off an injury that was career-threatening and won the title on my first night back. So...
Yeah, which I'm happy for you for doing that, because you came back from injury and won the world title. It doesn't happen that often to a lot of guys.
I recall you tweeting out. I recall you texting me. I recall you calling me saying, "Oh, where's my title shot? When am I going to get my shot?" Guess what? Title shots aren't handed out. There aren't. I don't give things out unless I see potential. I haven't seen anything from you except for, "Oh, I'm going to come back," and then we wait 2 months, still no sign of you. We wait another 2 months. You make a little tweet saying, "Oh, I'm coming back," and then, oh, you miraculously show up one night, you disappear again for another 3-4 months. You do one show, and then you disappear again. You're turning into the Brock Lesnar of DRW.
Oh God! This is why it's called the War Chest Room right here. Do we see a potential match in the future right here?
Actually, it's not going to be in the future because I don't think that Alex has the balls to face me.
Are we going to see this after Dark Mania? It's.
And hell, if you're the world champion still of fame, how about you be a man and put your title on the line against me?
You name the place, you name the date, and you got it.
If it's after Dark Mania, if it's the pay-per-view after Dark Mania, that's fine with me. I'll still be around.
I don't care. Why don't we make it at Dark Mania? You like to make history. I want to do it at my expense. So why don't we go ahead and we make it Fame versus Knox versus Sage? What do you say? That sounds like a good match to me.
So there's only one person that has to approve that, and that's the boss himself.
Oh, you're talking about the puppet master, Chris Zero, the man that you said...
Yeah, the paper champion himself, yeah.
Yeah, the man that's a better champion than you because he actually shows more promise than you. He's actually been here, and he's actually been working. What have you been doing? Oh, wait, that's right. You've been sitting on the couch flipping through channels. Oh, I see your DVD.
No, I've been on these podcasts and radio shows talking truth.
Oh, you've been I did see your little Powerpuff Fitness series, and, I mean, that's pretty good. Pretty good classic stuff. I mean, I think I'd rather get more of a workout by watching the Teletubbies than watching that crap that you put out.
Oh, shit.
Unless you become CM Punk's bitch.
Oh, damn.
You know, I actually haven't because, unlike Phil, I actually remained in the company. So, what's your excuse now?
Yeah, but you're not the best in the world.
Well, you're right. I'm not the best because I'm the greatest man that ever lived. So,
yeah, you're no Austin Aries, alright?
Again, this is the difference between me and you. My white titty isn't in my mouth, so go ahead and pop it out and we can talk like adults.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got cheese for your wine, man.
Oh Lord, of the war chest was fucking fired up.
Hey, if you want this fight for the world title, I'll face you and I'll beat your ass.
Oh, so you're making little idle threats now. See, I don't make threats. I actually guarantee things. So you want this match, we can go ahead, we can get a contract written up, we can both sign it in front of the DRW universe so that we know you can't back out, you can't run away, and you won't be making excuses once I beat you.
Me, you, and Knox at Mania for the world title.
Knox. Ooh, well, Chris Knox. Alice Fan, the world champion, and Tyler H. Ooh, Chris Knox.
I'm tired of being overlooked. I'm tired of being compared to guys like Adam Rush. I'm tired of being compared to guys like Chris Zero. You see, they want a fighting champion, they're going to get a fighting champion. Zach Hollywood has the one.
Yeah, they're going to get a fighting champion. I'm going to be the one.
You know what? Zach Hollywood, he has the once-in-a-lifetime briefcase. He can save it because if he wants a shot, he can get one at Dark Mania too. You know what? Chris Knox, he won the Extreme Rumble. Good for him. What does he want? A cookie? Guess what? He gets that shot at Dark Mania as well. And guess what? Here you come strolling in thinking that the world owes you something. Well, guess what? Here's a newsflash, pal. The world owes you nothing but a good foot shoved up the ass and what else? All right, that's right. A spit to the face as well. Because you, unlike everybody else, you just come back. I take that back. Adam Rush is just like you. You come back expecting to get handouts after handouts after handouts, but the guys.
No, it's not handouts. I have to earn it first. I earned it to get into this Elite World Title match.
Who exactly did you beat? That's actually a big name here lately.
And I won my match on SmackDown. That's why I became into this Elite World Title match.
Who did you beat? Sam Domingo, a guy that got arrested?
To clarify you guys on that, he beat Santana Hellhound in a match, and it was.
Yeah, I beat him beside of a steel cage.
So let me get this straight. You beat a jobber. Congratulations.
I beat the newest member of the Bullet Club that threw me out of the Extreme Rumble out of nowhere.
Bullet Club.
I lasted over 30-some minutes in that Rumble, and I was number one.
Did you not hear what you just said? Bullet Club.
Yeah.
Exactly what have they done lately? All their members are
The Bullet Club has run roughshod for this entire company. They've been doing it since last August. I've been having a war with them since last August. Since this all started.
You're here. That means you're a failure. You're a failure at being a professional wrestler. You're a failure at life. So why don't you just give up? because
I'm not going to be giving up until I retire next year. I'm going to retire as champion.
You might as well stop while you're ahead, because as soon as you step into the ring with me, I'm going to end your career. I'm trying to give you a heads up.
Sam, I'm ready for a long time. And trust me, you can ask the guys how many times when they step in the ring with me, I don't care, my match is Hell in a Cell. You step inside the ring with me in Hell in a Cell, you're done.
Okay, you're right. You know me for a long time, so let's go ahead and give the viewers a little history lesson. ECW, you were the international champion and the COO. And on top of that...
And also the ECW World Champion.
And who beat you for both of those titles? I remember I came back and I beat you for the ECW World title. I vacated it and came back a couple months later when you were still the international champion.
But I left ECW because it was falling apart, and so did you.
Actually, if you want to go off of that, ECW was actually, it was done for, yes it was, until I took over and renamed it ATW. I put it into my own vision. I brought back names such as CM Punk. I brought back names such as EZ, Jeffrey Saul Litterman. I brought everybody back. Except, here's the thing. The one person who was calling me, asking for a DRW World Heavyweight title shot, was nowhere to be found. He wasn't replying. All of a sudden, the cat had his tongue. So, that's one thing that I want to ask you. Exactly where were you when this whole ECW rebirth was happening?
I was with DRW. I was with DRW, and
at the time, it seems like you were, once again, nowhere to be found, period.
Oh yeah, I was somewhere to be found. I was with DRW when ECW was falling apart. I was still with DRW. Still fighting against the Bullet Club.
And once again, might I add, you were unsuccessful because they're still here.
Yeah, they're still here, but that's why I'm trying to get a group of guys to take down the Bullet Club and end them this year.
I believe you have the Armor, who's just been reestablished, and on top of that, wait, didn't you work with the Armor? Or did they give you the boot too because they seen how unworthy you were?
Yeah, I worked with the Armor, which won a shoot of the year against Bullet Club, and then the Bullet Club obviously paid them off to attack me.
Once again, they gave you the boot.
And then that's when the Armor was released.
You guys forgot about one stable that almost had the chance, and that was the New Primes, and that fell apart. And who's gonna take down Bullet Club? And that's the question out there. And if you two can coincide with each other, just make a fucking band of army, and band of brothers.
So somehow me and Fame actually coexist and get a group of, I don't know, 3, maybe 4, maybe 5 other guys and take down the Bullet Club, then we will.
See, here's the thing. I have no beef with the Bullet Club. Sure, they actually, coincidentally showed up during my title match here and there. And, I mean, that's, once again, I have no affiliation with them. And, I mean, why try to start a war with a group that hasn't tried to start a war with me? So, if that whole situation came about and Tyler wanted me to coexist with him, I'd rather push my mom down a flight of stairs rather than team with him.
Damn. See.
Yeah, just remember, you won't be holding that world title for much longer.
See.
Did anybody take it? Did you not hear my comment earlier? I dictate when I lose this title. And I don't feel like losing this title anytime soon.
Well, you will be. It will be against me.
I find that hard to believe. That's actually a pretty funny statement. You have jokes.
Hey, you want this match at Mania, me, you, and Knox, I'll beat you in the middle of the ring in Santa Clara in front of, I don't know, 70, 80,000 people. I don't know how many people is going to be there watching.
You couldn't even beat Josh Knight, so do you really want to go there?
I bet you couldn't even beat Josh Knight, can you?
Well, see, that has yet to be debated because me and him have never squared off against each other. But if they're ever...
And he'll probably beat your ass, too.
You see, that's where you're wrong. Me and Josh Knight share mutual respect for each other. And yes, respect is chucked out of the window when it comes down to a certain match. But when it comes down to that match, me and Josh Knight will tear the roof off the place. Unlike the boring matches that you try to put on, that's a match between two professional wrestlers. That's the difference between you and Zero, two sports entertainers.
Wrestling, you be wrestling a damn broomstick.
You see, you are just like Susie Splits, man. You are just like her. You two are just so way in over your head. You're naive. I mean, I bet I can find you doing something that she's not gonna do, and what you're gonna be doing that she's not gonna be doing anytime soon is losing, except for when she loses that beer bash to me. She can win any other match, but come beer bash that one night, all it takes is one mistake, and I will capitalize on that one mistake. As for you, you're not even on my radar. I'm not worried about you. So, I'm not going to...
Well, you definitely will be on my radar because I'm going to be hunting you down for that world title. That's going to be mine again.
Like I said, I'm not going to talk to you for the rest of this whole podcast. I'm going to talk to GVD because that's the man that's running the thing. So go ahead. Can you please ask?
Yeah, GVD, really ask a question. This is your show.
Like, after hearing you guys talk back and forth on World Title, Dark Mania, Triple Threat, making historical moments at Santa Clara, like, let's rewind the mixtape track a little bit, and let's go back to the first day in both you guys' careers in the DRW format. Tyler H, you become longest reigning world DRW world champion. Alex Fame becomes Pure Champion, Superfly X Division Champion. Both you guys make historical moments. Tyler H goes on to find personal love. Alex Fame goes on to find personal love. Then you two come in. You two are the top main event calibers of this group. And here's the question. Would we see a huge main event match for the DRW World Heavyweight Championship if Alex Fame successfully wins at Dark Mania? When will we see a match between the King of Chaos, Tyler H, and the greatest man that ever lived in E-Fed wrestling, Alex Fame?
You will, sir. What's going to happen?
And
I mean, sorry to interrupt you here, DVD. This is your podcast.
It's alright. It's alright.
I'm tired of talking about Dark Mania. That's way in the future. Let's talk about here and now. Let's talk about the DRW management. Let's talk about how they refuse to book such great talent. I'm talking about that Christian Rainey kid. He's been pleading and begging for a match, and he's just been getting overlooked. And I feel like he's getting the same treatment I got. That's the treatment that Zero feels is eligible for those guys who has the talent, who has the abilities to be the next somebody in the company. But Chris Zero doesn't want to give up his spot. And Messiah, as generous as he may be, but nobody realizes how selfish he is. He doesn't want to give up his spot. It's a simple rebuttal. And quite frankly, it makes me sick. I mean, if it came down to it, I actually put over younger talent because that's what I've been doing recently. One minute you will see me face somebody the types of Susie Spitz, and then the next minute you will see me facing somebody that's never been heard of in DRW before, like Eric Dragon. So, exactly, what is DRW management doing nowadays? Do you think that management has everything under control? Do you think that they're in touch with the DRW universe?
Like, I'm not part of management. I'm not part of the creative team no more. It's like Christian Rainey. I met the man. I talked to the man. He's a great E-Fed wrestler out there, even in groups such as URW, which he tried on left with Cole Stoner, which you two don't know about. Um, what the likes about Christian Rainey, he is like Josh Knight, but Josh Knight only tweets, but Christian Rainey promos. And Christian Rainey does have a background that's huge enough to officiate and to eat fed, and he's not being booked. That's one thing that gets me right there, and stuff like that.
That's good to know. That I mean, honestly, when it comes down to it, I was booked against Christian Wrestling, Hard Knocks Wrestling. I mean, honestly, I'm not knocking DRW. That's actually the place that I love. And my experience being in Hard Knocks Wrestling, like, I actually had a chance to get booked against talent that I never faced before. Talent that actually took me to my limits and pushed me beyond them. Christian Rennie was one of them. But at the time, I came up and then I went on to face guys like Stoner, who's actually like just amazing. Like it's guys like Lethal Intent who recently departed from DRW, the tag team division. They would have been a good addition to it, but I mean, obviously they couldn't like keep up with the style that DRW offers. And like when it comes down to it, if I actually had to voice my opinion on things, I would say that we should bring more talent in, such as Christian Rainey and Stone, guys like them, because although they have different like standard views on how we view things in EFED, and they like to stay in unknown, which is like unknown EFEDs, which is like the independent circuit. DRW is qualified as mainstream in the EFED now, so I mean if you want to look at it, I say keep your eyes on the indie circuit in there, and you will realize that most of the great talent that has been untapped and unseen, that is like mind-boggling. That all comes from there. And I mean, I couldn't name a couple places off the top of my head, but I mean, it's good.
There was a thing that I actually want to bring into you guys. Alex Fame is currently sipping on the McDonald's milkshake. I call the McDonald's milkshake the golden opportunity, and like Alex Fame is still drinking out of the milkshake. Tyler H is still drinking out of the milkshake. I started drinking out of the milkshake because I just won the Chronic title tonight. I'm currently drinking out of the milkshake now as we speak too, and like you see people don't drink the milkshake and they just want to just toss it away. There goes their livelihoods. And that's what some people do. They just slip the milkshake for a couple weeks and they just go, boom. To get out of here, let's leave. Trudle on. That's what some people do when they lose and they don't drink the milkshake no more. And that's what some people actually do. So, with this last question, so this is for both you guys. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about both your guys' he-fed career? What's the ups and what's the downs in you guys' career?
I'll let Tyler go first. I feel like I'm the only one that's been speaking.
Tyler.
I'm the only one with eligible mic skills. So.
Trust me, you're going to see him talk with mic skills.
What is your ups and downs in your career, Tyler?
Well, I mean, I've been doing this since 2011. But, there's been ups and downs because I've been with so many different companies in the past, starting with, WRP, but then when I'm a 7-time WRP Hall of Famer, with all these companies, and now when I started with EFED, I got to be better, and I got to be who I truly wanted to be a major champion, and to learn what EFED was all about, but what the promos that you have to do, and doing these 20-paragraph promos and stuff like that just to win a match and stuff. It's hard because you're going to be against tough competitors and everything like that. But I wanted to get into a major company that I wanted, to become a legend at and to become a Hall of Famer, and that's what I'm doing. It's like, my EFED career is not over, obviously until next year, the day before I get married. But it's been one hell of a ride, I can tell you that. But, once I left CRW, and when Carter asked me to come over and sign with him in DRW, that's where my career really took off. And I've had my ups and downs here in DRW. I've been suspended before, I lost my CRO position and stuff like that, due to personal issues, but, I feel better as a wrestler than being, as a board of directors, being part of the authority, I still call them. But I truly think the authority in themselves have been putting a lot of downs on a lot of these guys, on the roster, and really giving them the chance. And I think they need to step up a little bit, because we got new guys coming in. And once I retire, it doesn't mean I'm going to leave DRW for good. I'm still going to help train these guys and everything with promo and stuff like that. I still watch all the matches and everything, but, doing this EFES stuff, it's fun, and, to be in front of the DRW universe and talking with them and, tell them how I feel, and to, as a rep like Triple H, being a fan of him for 18 years, as much as I've been watching wrestling, that's what I wanted to be. I just wanted to be just like him, and that's what I've been for the past several years. But everybody has their own different reps. Everybody does. Even though they call me a Triple H wannabe, you can call me whatever the hell you want, but it's not going to stop me. But, it's like, saying to myself, should I change character? Should I change the gimmick? I'll do that whenever, but it's not going to happen right now. I still have a long ways to go. But this has been one hell of a ride, and, unfortunately it's going to have to end next year for me.
Talking to Alex Fame, what's your ups and downs in your EFED career?
What I wasn't paying attention. I fell asleep listening to that side story.
Ooh, God, this is the last question, and that'll...
Yeah, I'll fall asleep to yours too.
I mean, honestly, you're talking about milkshakes and how Tyler H is sipping on a milkshake. Obviously, he's choking. So somebody needs to time it maneuver. So my ups and downs, well, there's plenty of ups. I mean, going into this WRP, really never got the concept of that. I mean, in my own right, I had 7 WRP Hall of Fame rings, but then when you switch over to the EFES aspect of things, I'm working on trying to get my 13th ring. So, that's going to be a very moment that I'm trying to do in DRW. I mean, I've already gotten one as Insanity, so I'm trying to get one as Alex Fame. I'm trying to get 2 rings. Unlike somebody who calls themselves the King of Chaos, well, the King of Cunts in my mind. So, just because I speak my mind and I dress a certain way, I'm labeled as an outcast in DRW. I'm labeled as somebody that you shouldn't hang around in DRW. So as far as ups and downs of my career go, the only down that I had in my career is being in the shadow of somebody with the likes of Tyler H, Chris Zero, Adam Rush, and of course the injury that I overcame.
So there is the monumental of two ROH legends, two ECW legends, and now submitting their history as two DRW legends.
But once you're ready, I'll be ready to beat your ass for the world title. If it has to be a main event, then it will.
I'm sorry, all I heard was squawking. GVD, why are you not asking the hard-hitting questions that I asked you this last time? And it seems like we're going back into that relapse. Come on, this is the war chest. You have to shoot us the hard-hitting questions. Right now, all I feel like is that Tyler H has been throwing petty insults at me the whole time, and he can't seem to deliver. So, right now, I'm going to ask you, are you able to give us 15 more minutes, 15 to 20 more minutes?
15, 20 minutes. As we are in the time zone, I'll give you guys 10 minutes on this podcast. That's it. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Okay. Now, you guys will be the ones who ask the questions to each other for 10 minutes straight.
Oh, that seems like it's going to be easy to do.
Welcome to the extended cut version of EFET interviews. Yeah.
So, Tyler H, why do you suck?
Yeah, you really want to go here?
I was joking, that's not a serious question, because we all know why anyway. So, if you really think that you have the balls to step into the ring with me, why don't we go ahead and sign that contract, let's say on the next SmackDown or Massacre? If it was up to me, I'll go out to that arena right now in front of all those people, call you
Well,
out.
first, obviously, you have to get by the boss for that.
Well, see, here's the thing. You fail to realize, the boss is working with the Bullet Club. So, if you really want to go there, technically power is in the hands of anybody. Because he's focusing on the abilities of what the Bullet Club can get out of every situation. Me, I'm focusing only on me, myself, and my wife. So, exactly, do you have the balls to go out there and sign that contract, regardless of what the boss has to say? Because if the boss has anything to say, oh, trust me, it wouldn't matter because, like I said, he's not important.
Hey, I'll sign it right here, right now.
You know what?
I'll sign it right here on this podcast.
All right, go ahead. Do you have a sheet of paper, GVD?
Yeah.
Do I got a piece of paper by me in my office? Nope. You guys are going to do a verbal signing. So, I haven't did this shit, and this is my first time doing this shit. But do you, Tyler H, agree to his terms of this match?
For Darmania, to look for that match for the DRW World title, yeah.
Wait, whoa. Before we go any further, it seems like I'm putting everything on the line and you're putting up nothing. So what I say if you happen to lose, shouldn't you have to give up something too? I'd rather prefer something in exchange like a career.
Ooh.
Hey, that's not going to happen because my career, I'm retiring next year.
That's next year.
I'm retiring the day before my wedding next year. So my career is not over until then.
Once again, we're in a different year. You said next year. I believe we're in 2015, the present. See, I knew he'd be too scared to accept this. So, I've come prepared with a second offer. Because, like I said, you have the offer for men, and then you have the offer for the women. So, come on. Let's go ahead and answer this. If you so happen to lose, so you say that you retiring in the next year, you won't be able to get a DRW World Heavyweight title shot for that entire year. Fair enough, right? Oh, you're not going for that either. You just want a cookie and you can just go about your merry way. Okay. Well, I understand that. So go ahead, just sign the contract. I don't even care about those stipulations because I see I'm not getting anywhere with you. It's not getting to your big skull because it's not imprinting somewhere in there. It's not.
All this is a triple threat match for the WWE World Title, and this is something I've been waiting for a long time.
It's something that you've been waiting for a long time, and I'm handing it to you on the silver platter, but you can't agree to one term.
Yeah, but this is a man for herself. And I've never faced Chris Knox either. It's been my first time facing him too.
Well, here's the thing. I'm beating Chris Knox, and I'm beating you too. So what's so hard to believe about that? I don't find that hard to believe whatsoever. And since we're going ahead and sign this contract, and he said we had 10 minutes left, and we're pretty much eating up time, let's go ahead and ask the questions. Go ahead, shoot all the questions that you can. If you can put together a decent vocabulary, I really doubt that. So, can you say more than the or I just want to know.
Yeah, they want you to call yourself the greatest man that ever lived in this company.
I mean, I'm not knocking your abilities, but I mean, your resume doesn't span as long as mine.
Yeah, because there's only one greatest man that ever lived. There's only one best in the world, and that's CM Punk himself. And it's not JM Punk, I can tell you that. That's definitely not you.
Once again, you have yet to beat me, so why are we speaking these redundant facts again? I mean, I'd hate to embarrass you in front of the millions of DRW fans that are watching at the moment. Because, I mean, honestly, this would be a bad reputation on you. I mean, it already is because you refuse to accept two little itty-bitty offers. You refuse to sign for those stipulations. But, I mean, hey, I don't care. As long as I get to kick your teeth down your throat and put you back in your place, I'm fine with it. That's all the compensation I need.
You guys have 5 more minutes.
5 minutes? Oh, that seems like enough time.
5 more minutes.
Tyler H. So, exactly why are you afraid of me? And yes, I said it in that tense. Why are you afraid? Not why weren't you?
I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of anybody else on this damn roster.
Oh, those are big words. Big words. Because last time I checked, once again, you just refused to sign 2 little stipulations.
Yeah, I'm not putting my career. My career's already ending next year.
My career is ending. I mean, I want to have to latch on to something. I mean, I'm not getting any younger.
Because yeah, I can tell you I'm not putting my character or my gimmick on the line because I wouldn't change anything else. Because the last time I changed character, absolutely sucked and it didn't last long because Connor asked me to change it right back to Tyler H.
Well, why are you afraid of losing him then? Because, I mean, if you were so confident in winning, you just talked such a big game saying how you were going to beat me, and you're too afraid to go ahead and put a career on the line? I mean, that seems pretty afraid to me. You seem a little bit nervous to jump the ball right there. I'm putting up my world title, no questions asked, because unlike you, I don't think I can beat you. I know I can beat you. I've done it before in the past, and I will do it again in the present or the near future, whichever one happens to come first.
I guess we'll just find out at WrestleMania now, won't we?
Yeah, we will. We will find out.
And then you're going to be embarrassed after I win the world title.
I highly doubt that, because I'd rather lose it to Knox than lose it to a farce like you.
I mean, hey, yeah, Knox is one hell of a competitor. He definitely is. And he will be an elite world champion someday. But it's my time to become the world champion again.
See, that's my problem. See, you see all these people targeting my World Heavyweight Championship. But yet, there's the DRW Elite World title just sitting there, gleaming in the sunlight. The most prestigious title right there. Whoever holds that title, that's their ticket to success. That's their ticket to get plastered on every single poster, every single collector's cup, every single magazine. Yet, I'm sitting down below them trying to build a reputation for a championship. Not a title, a championship. Something that is prestigious, something that means something to me. See, you want it as a trophy. That is more than just a hunk of gold that's over my shoulder. Because you know what? Unlike you, Tyler H., I don't need this belt just to prove that I'm a champion. You know what? I can go ahead and toss it to the Gulf of Mexico, and I can walk out the next night live on television, and they will still announce me as the DRW World Heavyweight Champion. Not for the championship belt that I carry, but for the actions that I do in and out of the ring. See, I do make a wish. I do be a star. What do? Oh yeah, that's right. You just show up, you do a little cheesy catchphrase. Oh yeah, that's for business, and you leave.
Sorry.
So, that's it. I mean, you're a silent cat, got your tongue. Obviously, you have nothing more to say to me. I have nothing more to say to you.
What's going to be good for business is me beating your ass at Armenia. Plain and simple.
Yet you refuse to put your career on the line. Yes.
Yeah, because I'm already retiring next year. Why would I put my career on the line?
As if you're retiring next year, you should have nothing to fear. Anyway it goes, you're still retiring. But the one thing that you don't get through your skull right now is that you're afraid. And you're trying to put on some type of facade that you're not afraid, but you're really deep down inside knowing that if I put my career on the line at Darkmania, I'm going to lose to Alex Fame. And regardless if Chris Knox is in this thing or not, you underestimate me just like everybody else underestimate me. I go out there every single night and I put on a show. I steal the show unlike anybody else. And on top of that, I look pretty damn good while doing it. All you can do is flex your little muscly head and go out there, spit water, leave. So of course, you're good at doing that. Anybody's good at spitting anything that they can swallow. So I mean, exactly what are you good at besides blowing your wife?
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, but what about yours?
Ooh. Oh.
I'm not worried about mine. At least mine is actually doing something proactive. That's right. She's the leader of the women's division. She's the most phenomenal diva here. Well, not diva, woman. Because that's the difference between other brands and DRW. We have a women's division. And she's the leader of it. She's been the leader of it since day one that she stepped foot into this company. Just like I've been the leader of the male division since day one. You know what? When I stepped into the
You're no damn leader.
Jealous. You were always jealous of what I've done and how I did it because I've done it faster and better than you could ever do.
You're no damn leader.
Well,
I'm not. I mean, once again, I don't have to have a hunk of metal just to prove I'm the leader because, once again, it's the actions that I do. All you can do, once again, go out there, spit water, flex muscles, botch, and then leave.
It's been...
Darmania, you're just gonna be choked.
It's been 10 minutes, people. Your time is up.
GVD, just get that contract. Let me just sign it, and let's get this Darmania underway.
I'll get the
so that I can prove that actually I'm better than him.
I'll get the contract from...
I spit water very good.
I'll get the contract from, Chris Zero. We want to do an official contract signing on this show. But until then, this has been another Each Fed Interviews Director's Cut and Extended Cut. Please do not do this at home. Please do not do this at home. I ain't playing. And have a safe weekend. Make yourselves happy at home. Thank you, and I love you guys. Boom.